Like many new TCGs, Altered has a plethora of accessories that you can purchase. But which of them enhance your gameplay experience enough that they're actually worth buying? Now let me be clear from the start, I do not think that you need any of these things to enjoy Altered, or that you need any of these accessories to really enjoy a different TCG. But at the same time, I do think a lot of them can make your experience way more enjoyable. For example, like this playmat or any playmat. And I'll tell you this coming from somebody who spent 15 years playing different card games and avidly avoiding purchasing any sort of playmat to play on. In fact, the first time I got a playmat was because after months of playing Magic at a game store, someone felt so bad for me being the only person without a playmat, they just gave me one. It wasn't until then, after playing a couple of events with a playmat, that I realized how wonderful it was to have while playing a card game. So one thing I did notice here about the Game Genk mat here for Altered is it does slide a little bit more, a little easier than I would like it to. My Flesh and Blood mats have a little bit more stick to them, at least on this table. And I think even the Star Wars ones, from what I remember, they just felt a little bit more stable than this, but man, the colors and of course having the zones, very, very nice for Altered. There are a couple of different designs that you can choose from for your playmat here in Altered, and this one is stunning. Look at the color on that mat for the race as they're going beyond the gates. Very, very gorgeous mat. This one of course doesn't have any lines, which is totally fine. You play a few games and you're going to know exactly where your cards are supposed to go, but my goodness, this is a captivating playmat, that's for sure. Playmats can serve a couple of different purposes. One is that it is nice for keeping your cards clean. The other thing is that playmats really help set the tone for a card game you're playing. In fact, you kind of get used to using them so much that it begins to feel like a piece of equipment that is part of your deck. This is the third option for the single player playmats, and again, very stunning. This one has a ton of detail in it. We've got people racing across the rooftop. I think with any one of these three playmats, you would be pleased. They are all very gorgeous. And now that Kybera one actually has another version. It has an extra large version where this is for 2 players. You can kind of see down there where it's essentially 2 mats stuck together so that you can have your zones on both sides of the table for both players. I'm not going to open it up here because I won't be able to fit it on the camera anyways, and it's going to be very similar to that first one we saw with some slight color variations between the 2 sides. Now this big playmat is perfect for playing at home, or if you're trying to get other people to get into the game, it's great to bring this mat along so that everybody has a nice playing surface. Probably not the easiest to always be bringing to game night at the store though. Now I said that you don't need any of these accessories, and while that's true, the playmat, it's really nice to have. You could use any playmat, it doesn't have to be one of these of course for Altered. But sleeves, now sleeves come to about as close of a thing as a must-have for accessories as far as I am concerned. Yes, you can play without sleeves, but man, playing card games with sleeves is much nicer. It's much more enjoyable for shuffling. You keep good care of your cards. It's better. It's way better in my opinion, and they don't cost that much to get a pair of sleeves. Now the fun thing here with these Altered sleeves is you have the different heroes, one from each faction, and because when you're at least not playing limited, but if you're playing a standard constructed event, you're only going to be using characters from that faction within your deck, which means you could sleeve all of your cards from a faction in one style of sleeve, and then you don't ever have to really change them. You don't have to worry about swapping out cards for different decks because, well, all the cards that can go in that deck are going to have that sleeve. One thing I like about the Game Genk sleeves here is that they are full color borderless sleeves. So you don't have that white border that you see a lot on Dragon Shields. It's full art. One thing though you should also look at it too is that there is a bit of a texture to these sleeves. So sometimes in art they'll have like a perfectly smooth texture. That's not how this is going to be. Okay, I found a green card in Nari here. The cards fit in very nicely. There's plenty of space in there. You could fit a perfect fit sleeve over your card if you wanted to as well. And we'll test a little bit later, see if this fits in our binders easily. Again though, for shuffling and protecting your cards, sleeves are the #1 item. And so if you're only going to get one accessory of anything, I would suggest getting sleeves. And if you want to have altered sleeves that match your cards, these ones look great. So next in our accessory list, we have deck boxes. And if you're going to be traveling to tournaments or to your friend's house to play some games, you're going to want to have some secure way to carry and transport your decks. Genk has 2 different versions here for deck boxes. The first one is these soft boxes, and the soft boxes are going to cost a lot less than our bigger deck wallet there. And of course, you're not going to get quite as high of a quality of a box, though for the price, this box is going to get the job done. It's got some cool art on it, and I like actually that they have a space for your deck in the front, and then you get an additional box in the back where you can nicely keep track. Oh my goodness, you can nicely keep track of your tokens. And now actually I had a hard time opening it because I didn't realize there is a little lip there. Helps it lock into place. So you just got to push it in a little bit, and then it's very, very easy to open. And this is actually really handy because I remember using different deck boxes like this in the past, and it was always frustrating to think, well, I can't quite fit my dice or tokens or different items in that box well without either smashing my cards or they get stuck under things and you have a tough time digging them out. So this is actually a really, really nice upgrade from some of the older soft boxes that you would get. This is enough to be a full, complete, take your deck to a tournament or event, everything you need. Now I'm not gonna lie, because I like something a little more hefty, this is the one that I was excited for back when I saw the Kickstarter. This deck wallet, I'm actually a little surprised it's a little smaller than I thought it would be, which is okay actually. And this is it's just a cool looking box. You have a little opening there. You can see something on the inside. Of course, we've got some magnets, right? You could put some card or something in there, and look at this. It's just nice. Ooh, feels good. Good quality here. We even get a nice little thank you on the inside for choosing Genk. And so you have space for your deck to go in there. Look at this. Whole thing just keeps on opening. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. So you can set it down, make some space here. On the table like this, your deck is in there. And then in here, you can also put your tokens or different items. There's a really nice amount of space there for your cards in your deck. They're not going to be crushed. You're not going to have any problem in there. The deck wallet here feels very strong. It feels very sturdy. You're not going to have any problems with this being in your bag and getting smashed or crushing your cards on the inside. It's very high quality. You can say the same for the soft box as well. It has a little bit of give up and down, but it's going to protect your cards really well, even inside your backpack that probably has too many items in it. Let's move into what I would say are some of the more kind of for fun pieces. And so we're going to start here by looking at a couple binders. These are their casual albums. They're 18 pocket binders. You can see they are side loading. There are 2 different versions of art that you can get. And I think I'm going to open up this one. Altered is definitely a game where they decided, you know what, we want to have a lot of color popping. And man, these do pop. If you want to have a binder that pops, very, very nice. Now, of course, if you're looking at these casual binders, they say casual on it because you know what, this is not going to be your hardcore binder that you want to throw in your backpack and hope that it's going to protect things if your backpack gets kicked or bumped around and stuff. Not the right binder for that. This is, again, it's more of a casual binder, so it has a lot of bend. It's nice for at home and something you put on the shelf. Not necessarily the binder I would get if you're looking to do some crazy wild running around or traveling with it. Now, as you can see there, sorry, the camera does not like the all white pages, but the cards fit in there very, very well with the altered sleeves. There's plenty of space for it. I love to see that, so it's a nice way to keep things secure. And there's no issue, oh, we'll shake stuff around. No issue of the cards jumping out or popping out. Now, of course, they do have a more heavy-duty version of a binder here. This is the premium zip up album, as you can see on it. And I love that this matches the deck wallet. Let me grab that again. We've got the same style, the same look to it. So they match really, really well. And man, so this one, this is your more hefty duty thing. You actually have some hardness in the covers. Now it's not gonna be, you know, if you try and bend this in half, sorry, there you can see it. If you try and bend it in half, yes, you can force it, but it's gonna protect your cards way, way more than those softer ones are. This one is a zip folio, so it has a zipper along the outside. I have come to like those. Just a nice way for keeping your binders secure, and it's a little bit cleaner than using those bands that they do on the casual albums. And then on the inside, you can tell it's just a nicer look, right? This is the premium version product. Same style of pages we see here, a little bit, maybe a little bit tighter on the sleeve, but you can still fit your card with an altered sleeve in there. It's not too difficult to get in and out, but again, the pages are very, very clean. I like that black kind of background in a binder. It's a little bit nicer than the pure white. You don't need one this fancy, but man, this sure does look really cool, and it's going to look great on your shelf. When you're all done, give it a little zip up, and of course everything is going to be nice and secure. Even if there is an issue with the card coming out of a pocket, it's not going to escape the binder. I have one more accessory for you today, which is a little crazy. Now, of course, some of you are wondering, well, what about that adventure premium track or the premium tokens? Those are coming. They're a little bit delayed from Genk, so I don't have any of those yet. They're on back order. But this one here, the Cards Layer Pro 1000, is massive. It's absolutely massive. We are fully into the point of you don't need this at all, but kind of part of the appeal is that you don't need it, but it looks pretty awesome. So this is way, way bigger than I expected it to be. Oh my goodness. Look at how huge this is. Again, of course, it's going to match the deck wallet, and it's going to match the premium zip folio. But this is just a huge, huge box where you can do everything. Check it out there. We have that nice altered logo on the inside as well. Of course, we have plenty of space here for your altered cards, sleeved or unsleeved. You got a lot of room to fill things up here. You can also fill that side with cards, or you can put your playmat in here. You can fit 2 playmats in there. I bet you could probably even fit 3 if you wanted to. There is way more space than you actually need. You could put tokens or different pieces up here, and then over here on this bottom right corner, of course, you're gonna have some space where you can add additional cards, I believe. Let's see if they fit. Yep, you can add additional cards, or you can put more tokens. You can have so many different decks inside this. It's called the Cards Layer Pro 1000 Plus because without having playmats in there, you can have over 1,000 double sleeved cards in it, or you can have, it says, over 1,300 single sleeved cards. It even says you can have up to 20 altered decks in here. Do you really need that? Probably not. Is it cool? Absolutely. And you do want to be careful that as you have cards in here, you gotta have something to fill the space, or if you don't have enough cards, well, bad things are gonna happen. Again, you don't need any of these to enjoy Altered and have a great time playing the game, but if some of them look like fun to you, you wanna enhance your game a little bit with some of these accessories, I have them available for sale over at mastersetandmadness.com. My #1 suggestion is if you don't have sleeves for your card game you're new to, grab some sleeves. #2 would be, again, if you don't have a playmat that you want to use, grab one of these playmats. Those are the top 2 things that are going to make your gameplay more fun at home. I believe the Premium Adventure Track is going to be my #3 recommendation, though I don't have it in hand yet. And then from there, it's kind of just what kind of fun do you want to have. If you want to just try out one of these to see if you like the texture, you like the way that it feels, maybe grab a deck wallet or the Premium Zip Up album, just to make sure you like the texture and you like the way that it feels, the quality. before you jump on in and get this old big beast, which again, very cool, very fun, not necessary, but you know, sometimes we're just playing with cards anyways, and it's about the joy it gives you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.